Okay, let's start. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Shirasa Namami Pujantam Rama Rameti Maduram Maduraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmaja Purato Marutir Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. Welcome back. We're at the end of Aranya Kanda. We're still in chapter 74. Sri Ramachandra has asked Shabari 6 questions and she has answered. Now Ramachandra is going to ask her indirectly to glorify her spiritual master. He doesn't say it this way, but we will see that he is encouraging her to express to the Supreme Lord her love and affection for her Guru and the associates of her Guru. And the way Sri Ramachandra introduces this is in the 19th verse of chapter 74. He says, Danoho sakashat tatvena prabhavam te mahatmanaha shrutam pratyaksham ichchami sandrashtum yadi manyase. Dana means I heard from Danu, that is Kabandha, who became transformed or regained his original celestial form as Danu. And he says, when he became Sakashat, Sakashat in one sense is a ghostly or a thin, emaciated personality. Generally used as if someone is becoming very weak from fasting or austerity, we say Shakashat, almost ghost-like. Here he's talking of him as a ghost-like because he came out of this demon body and attained a very slender, slim, celestial body. And he says, Te Mahatmanaha, that great soul Danu, spoke to me about your Prabhava. Prabhavam means your glory. You and your Guru Matanga Rishi and his associates. Te Prabhavam Mahatmanaha Danoho Sakashat. Then he says, Shrutam, I heard from him. However, Pratyaksham Ichchami Sandrushtam, but I would like to see with my own eyes. Yadi Manyase, if you would be willing to show me the ashram so that I can see for myself the glory of Matanga Rishi, your spiritual master, and all the associates that lived here. Etattu vachanam shrutva Rama Vaktrat Vinhismritam Shabari Darshaya Masatau Ubhau Tat Vanam Mahat. As soon as she heard these words, she escorted Ramachandra and Lakshmana to show them this great forest, Vanam Mahat. Ubhav means side by side. She took them together to show them this great forest that was used by these great persons. So she says, Pasya Megha Ghana Prakhyam Mrigapakshi Samakulam Matangavanam iti eva Vishrutam Raghunandana. O Raghunandana, this place became famous, Vishrutam, as Matangavanam, because it was inhabited by the sage Matanga. This was called Matangavanam, and here Mrigapakshi Samakulam. This was filled with, or this is filled with, deer or other animals and all varieties of birds. Megha Gana Prakhyam, and it is so thick. The canopy of trees and branches is so thick that it looks like a dense cloud. That means there is no harsh sunlight. During the day, it is very cool. And the indication that animals and birds are completely freely roaming and here means that the residents did not attack any of the animals, and the animals did not feel any fear. If an animal feels fear, they never come close to a human being. Ihate bhavati atmano guravo te mahadyute juhavam chakrire needam mantravat mantra poditam. And she shows the place. She says, Juhavan chakrire. This is the place where they would perform their yagyas. Mantravat mantra pujitam. And they were always reciting sacred mantras, pretty much worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of yagya, because it is Treta Yuga. And she says, Ihate bhavitaha atmano. And they were not just doing something ritualistically. Bhavita atmanaha. Their hearts were full of realization, meaning they were spontaneously attracted to the Supreme Lord in their activities. And iyam pratyakasthali vedi yatrate me susatkrutaha. Iyam pratyakasthali. This particular place is where the great sages used to offer flowers and other things that I would gather for them. They would offer to the altar, the place where the fire god is invited. That is called Vedi, and it is considered the sacred altar. Naturally, when we do a yagya, the fire pit or yagya sthali is called Vedi. Pushpa upaharam kurvanti shramat ud vepima bhare. So I would gather flowers and fruits and other forest items. So they would offer them. Now, our Acharya's comment that she is speaking very technical language, calling it Vedi, Pratyak Sthali. Pratyak Sthali means it is raised on the western side. It's an altar. She knows all these terminology, which is an indication from Valmiki that she was not some person unfamiliar with what people were doing. She knew very, very specifically, which means she's very learned. And she says something very interesting. Kurvanti shramad ud vep bhihi karaihi. Their hands, when my spiritual master would offer ghee into the fire, vep bhihi, his hands would be trembling, which means he was very, very old. Yet shramat, shrama actually means work, or sometimes we say wasted work or physical labor. So he had to endeavor really greatly to pour ghee into the fire. Yet he was very fixed. This is her glorification of her spiritual master. We've been hearing the reading of I'll build you a temple. And this place we are in the book is 1977. Prabhupada is very, very sick. And his body, he's been telling everyone, I am very sick. My body is not cooperating with me. But the way he is speaking in these classes and so forceful and so enthusiastic. And the writer, Srila Giriraj Maharaj, is expressing that regardless of what was going on with Prabhupada's body, he was forceful like a lion. And he's glorifying Srila Prabhupada. Similarly, here, Shabari is glorifying her spiritual master, that he never gave up his spiritual duties, even if he was very ripe in age and his body was very frail. His hands used to shiver while pouring ghee. Tesham tapaha prabhavena pashya adya api raghuttama. See, Ramachandra, the prabhava, the effect of his tapasya, just see, pashya adya. What is it? Dyotayanti dishaha sarvaha shriyaha vedyaha atula prabha. The Dyotayanti, every direction, wherever you look, his entire ashram is effulgent. Her spiritual master and the associates left to the spiritual world long ago, at least 13 years ago. Yes, yet she is saying, Dishaha sarvaha shriyaha vedya. And you can see the opulence and the radiance of this place. What kind of radiance? Atulaha prabha. It is incomparable. Because although they have left, their presence previously has left this kind of radiance in this ashram. The entire forest is effulgent because of them. And she says, Ashaknuvad bhitaihi gantum upavasha shramah alasaihi chintite abhyagatan pashya sametan saptasagaran. They had become very, very weak and emaciated from their upavasa, from their fasting. And gantum shrama alasaihi. They could not even, he was so aged and frail that he could not even walk to the river to take a bath. Now, without taking a bath, he cannot recite his mantras, he cannot do Gayatri, he cannot do the Yajna, but he would not want to give it up. So, just by his thought that I need to take a bath so that I can worship the Supreme Lord was so powerful. The thought, the desire, the sankalpa was so strong. Abhyagatam pashya sametan saptasagaran. The 7 oceans, water from the 7 oceans, all came to this place, right next to his ashrama, so he can bathe in it. That is the Pampa Sarovara. Lake of Pampa is considered so sacred because by Matanga Rishi's power of austerity, the oceans wanted him to take a bath. So they came. Generally, water from the land travels by rivers, and the rivers are eager to go to the sea or ocean. In this case, for Matanga Rishi, the natural process was reversed, and the oceans wanted to come and offer their water to him so he can bathe in Pampa Sarovara. This is her she speaking the glory of her guru. And bathing in the ocean is considered the best form for health, for in terms of purity, etc. Then she says, Krita Abhishekaihi Taihi Tai. She's talking in plural. So not just her guru, all the residents along with them. So she is glorifying her god brothers as well, if you want to say. Krita Abhishekaihi Tai Nyastha Valkala Padapeshu Iha Adya Apina Vishushyanti Pradeshe Raghunandana. Ramachandra, just see. Krita Abhishekai Te. Then they, after they took their bath, they took off their jute clothing, because that's what Ramachandra is wearing. That's what the forest resident ascetics were wearing. It's called Valkala. Valkala is tree bark. After soaking in water, it becomes a little softer and pliable to wear. So she's saying Nyasta. Nyasta means it is kept here. Literally, it is hanging from tree branches to dry. Pada peshu iha. So do you see? The clothing that they used to wear is hanging from these branches. Adya api na vishushyanti. Shushyanti means moistened or something that is wet. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, nacha kledyanti apaha, na shoshayati marutaha. So maruta shoshayati, that it is not dried by wind. So she's saying, api na vishushyati, even till date. They have left 13 some years ago, perhaps even longer, minimally 13. Yet those clothes that they had worn are still wet. What does it mean? That the clothes are, wet cloth is considered sacred, pure. And their purity was such that the cloth is still remaining damp. It has not dried up yet. This is the glory of my spiritual master, Sri Ramachandra, how pure and powerful they were in their tapasya. Then she says, Deva karyani kurvadbhi, for the sake of doing their activities for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Yani imani kritani vai. Pushpaihi uvalayaihi sartham mlananatvam natu yanti vaihi. So they would string garlands with lotuses. Lotus is uvalayaihi, with many lotuses. Blue color lotus actually is called uvalaya. Pushpaihi sartham, along with other flowers. So lotuses mixed with other flowers. Very beautiful garlands. They would string them. For what? Deva karyani, for the sake of worshipping the sacrificial altar and the deity there. Yet, just see, mlanatvam natu yanti vai. Mlanata means to dry and become rotten. Either to rot or to become dry or become discolored. You know, if you have flowers and you keep them, we have all had experience, we get Maha garland from the deities or the spiritual master. We bring it, we hang it, and after a few days later, they turn brown and become dry. It's called mlanatvam. Discoloring and becoming dry. And she says, na mlanatvam natu. So those garlands that they used to make and offer to the deities and wear them as Mahaprasad and hang them to the branches, till date, they have not become dry or discolored. That is their power. Krutsnam vanamidam drashtum shrotavyam cha shrutam tvaya tad ichchami abhyanugata tyakshami etad kalevaram. Ah, what a wonderful verse. My dear Ramachandra, this entire forest, idam drashtum, I have shown you whatever you need to see. Shrotavyam cha shrutam tvaya, and whatever needs to be heard about them, I have spoken to you. Therefore, tat ichchami, I desire, abhyanugyata, you please give me your permission. For what? Yakshami etad kalevaram, I want to relieve, I want to give away this body now. Why? Because the time is now correct. I have had your darshan, I have offered you service, Since you ordered me to glorify my spiritual master, thinking about him and these wonderful persons that were with him, I want to give up my body. What a way to give up body. Conscious, deliberate, and she knows she is going back. Tesham ichchami aham gantum. I have a desire to go. Where? Samipam bhavati atmanaha. Muninam ashramo yesham aham cha paricharini. With my full heart, in my full consciousness, with the ecstasy of anticipation, I want to be near those great persons. Muninam samipam. Ashramo yesham aham cha. For those persons who used to live in this ashram, and paricharini, I was their servant. The word paricharaka is indicative of being a servant. We use the word dasa, bhritya, and paricharaka. Therefore, that verse from Mukunda Mala Stotra, that my life is considered successful. This is my prayer, Supreme Lord, that please engage me as the dasa anudasa, bhritya cha bhritya, paricharaka bhrityasya mam. Please consider me the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. So what her desire is very similar to what Prahlad Maharaj asked Narasimhadev. He has the Supreme Lord, Narasimhadev, who placed his transcendental paw on his head and asked him, ask for whatever you want. And he could have said, I want to be at your lotus feet only. I want to be your favorite servant. No. Prahlad Maharaj's greatest aspiration was Evam Janam Nipatitam Prabhavahi Kupe Kamabhi Kamam Anuyah Prapatan Prasangat. My dear Lord, my condition is I have fallen into a well that is filled with poisonous snakes. Prabhava Ahi Kupe. And why? Kamabhi Kamam Anuyah Prapatan Prasangat. However, Kritvatmasat Surarshina, Sura Rishina, the great sage among the demigods, Narada Muni, Bhagavan, or Narasimhadev, what that sage has done to me is Kritva Atmasat. He has made me like him. This is the quality of his proper spiritual master. That they don't keep their followers subjugated and have no access to what they have. They give wholeheartedly their followers whatever they have. Their ecstasy they give. Their realizations they give to them so the others can also become like them. Kritva Atmasat. Atmasat means just like him. He made me just like him. Surarshina, that sage among the demigods. Grihita, he took charge of me. So, aham katham nu visraje tava bhritya sevam. Nu is used to say, is it not? So how can I give up tava bhritya sevam, the service to your devotee? I want to be fully fixed in the service of Narada Muni. And the purport is very, very amazing. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, as will be seen in later verses, even though Prahlad Maharaj was directly offered all benedictions he might have desired, he refused to accept such offerings from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On the contrary, he asked the Lord to engage him in the service of his servant Narada Muni. This is a symptom of a pure devotee. One should serve the spiritual master first. It is not that one should bypass the spiritual master and desire to serve the Supreme Lord. This is not a principle for a Vaishnava. And then Prabhupada quotes Narottam Das Thakur, Tandera Charana Sevi, Bhakta Sane Vasa, Janame Janame Hoy, Hey Abhilasha. One should not be anxious to offer direct service to the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised that one become the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Gopi bhartur padakamalayor dasa dasanudasa. This is the process for approaching the Supreme Lord. The first service should be rendered to the spiritual master so that by his mercy one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead to render service. Then later in the purport, Prabhupada says, therefore he said, Soham katham nu visruje tava bhritya sevam. How can I give up the service of my spiritual master who has favored me in such a way that I am now able to see you face to face? Prahlad Maharaj prayed to the Lord that he might continue to engage in the service of his spiritual master, Narada Muni. This is exactly what Shabari is asking. Actually, in the Ramayana, like I said last week, Shabari receives only permission from Ramachandra to go back to her guru. In fact, he does not liberate her. She's already liberated. She only says, can I please get your permission so I can go? So Ramachandra, actually in Vedanta Deshika's prayer, he is called Sakshi, Bhuta. He's only there as a witness. He has really nothing to do. He's not liberating her because she's already liberated by her guru. That is the immense Guru Bhakti she has. And because she has such Guru Bhakti, although she is a woman from the forest in a tribal race, it did not matter to Ramachandra. Ramachandra does not care the body in which someone is performing bhakti. If they are genuinely interested in being a devotee, then he doesn't care. He gave mercy to a vulture, monkeys, bears, rakshasas, tribal woman, tribal man, guha. Anybody and everybody got his mercy. In case of Shabari, it is unique. He did not liberate her particularly, meaning his grace obviously is there, but don't get onto the technicalities of it. Appreciate that her Guru Bhakti was such that she was, although liberated, she was just waiting to finish the final service, and then she asks Ramachandra, please give me permission, I may go to where my spiritual master is. Dharmishtam tu vachah shrutva Raghavah salakshmanaha prahasam atulam lebhe ascharyam idam cha abravit. When Ramachandra and Lakshmana heard from Shabari, Dharmishtam, very, very so fixed in her service, prahasam, they smiled. And they saw something very amazing happening. And so Ramachandra and Lakshmana exclaim in astonishment, Ascharyam idam abravit. They became astonished. Wow! And the astonishment is, Tam uvacha tato Rama Shabari shamshritaha vratam archito aham tvaya bhadre gaccha kamam yathasukam. Ramachandra said to Shabari, oh, you are samshritam vratam. You are very, very fixed in your vows. You're very fixed in your faith to your spiritual masters. Archito aham tvaya. I have been duly worshipped by you. Bhadre, oh, very, very fortunate, auspicious lady. Gaccha kamam yatha sukham. Please go to wherever you desire. Iti evam uktva jatila chira krishna ajinambara anugyata tu ramena hutva atmanam huta ashane jvalata pavaka sankasha swargam eva jagamasa. Sa Shabari iti evam ukta, as soon as she spoke this, and Ramachandra spoke to her. Jatila Chira Krishna Ajina Ambara. She had matted hair, like how Ramachandra has matted hair. And these ascetics in the forest, how would they mat their hair? They would take the sap of a tree, and that would be very gooey. They would apply it to hair, so it would become very firm and sticky, and then they would knot it up. And she's wearing Chira Krishna Ajina Ambara. In her lower part of the body, she's wearing a jute cloth, and upper body is covered by a dark deer skin. That's how she is. Anugyata te Ramena. She asking permission from Rama. Huta Atmanam. From her own body, she created a fire. From her tapasya, the power of her tapasya, she created a fire. And Hutashane, and she entered that fire. That fire completely started to burn her body. And from that fire came up this very, very beautiful, exquisite looking lady. Jvalataha Pavaka Sankasha. That the effulgence was like a huge fire. Swargam Eva Jagamasa. She started ascending towards the celestial transcendental world. And Ramachandra and Lakshmana are witnessing her. Suddenly, from this old, decrepit, emaciated, matted hair, ascetic body, Divyam Abharanam Samyukta. She was decorated with transcendental jewelry. Samyukta Divya Malya Anulepana. She was decorated with beautiful garlands. Her body was smeared with transcendental perfume. Divya Ambara Dhara. She was wearing very beautiful, transcendental, exquisite clothing. Tatra Babhuva Priyadarshana. She became so beautiful to look at. Virajayantitam Desham Vidyut Saudamini Yatha. And she, as she was ascending, she was so beautiful and effulgent, like a flash of lightning. Vidyut Saudamini Yata. Yatrate Sukritah Atmena Viharanti Maharshaya Tat Punyam Shabari Sthanam Jagama Atma Samadhina. Shabari, who was a perfect devotee, with her own, this is called Samadhi. So the last word is Samadhina. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha purunandana. Bahushaka hi anantasho buddhayo avasayina. So Ramachandra is seeing what Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita. And where did she go? Tat Punyam Shabari, that very auspicious Shabari, Sthanam Jagama. She went and received position in the place where her Guru was, back at her spiritual master's lotus feet. So with that, chapter 74 ends. Actually, in one of the commentaries, it is said that Shabari left her body just the way a cobra leaves its skin. Now, generally, you never see, you see a dead sparrow, perhaps even a dead tiger, an elephant, animals dead on the ground. But you never see a dead snake anywhere, unless someone has killed it. On its own, you will not find in the forest somewhere a dead snake. Snakes die, like elephants, snakes die in hiding. And that too, not easily discernible. But before they do that, sometimes over periods of time, the snake just leaves its skin and slithers away in new skin. So the commentator says that Shabari left her mortal body with the ease with which a snake leaves its skin. And it is just there, dry. If you touch it, it all shatters. Because she was completely relieved of any conception of I and mine. And this I and mine conception is referred to in the Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 5, verse number 8. Pumsa striyamaithuni bhavametam tayor mitha hridaya granthim ahu. Ato graha kshetra sutaptavitte janasya mohoyam aham mameti. The attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. Prabhupada's translation. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of the male and female, one becomes attracted to this body, home, property, children, relatives, wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusions, janasya mohoyam, and thinks in terms of I and mine, aham, mama, iti. Then, the last chapter of Aranyakanda, after seeing Shabari go back, Ramachandra and Lakshmana take a bath in the Pampa Sarovar, feel energized, refreshed, and inspired. Now, one may say because they have taken bath in the water, they must be inspired and refreshed. Actually, Ramachandra and Lakshmana, although they're the supreme personalities of Godhead, they feel refreshed by hearing the glory of great devotees. And they are refreshed by witnessing Shabari leave her mortal body and go to her spiritual master. Seeing that Guru Bhakti is refreshing for them. Why? Because they have that kind of bhakti for Vishwamitra. They know what they have learned from Vishwamitra. So because they have it in their heart, when they see it in Shabari, they are completely inspired. They're thrilled by it. Then they start moving further west. From Pampa Sarovar, they are at the edge of Kishkindha. And they want to meet Sugriva. So now Ramachandra is eager. He tells Lakshmana, let's go quickly and look for Sugriva. We have to find where the Rishyamukha mountain is and make friendship with Sugriva so we can now start looking for Sita Devi. So within what I narrated, I also narrated to you some reflections, some application points of what it means to have Guru Bhakti. And this is an inspiration for me because I'm aspiring for it one day, someday, hopefully. And the lesson is from Shabari. We can pray to the lotus feet of Shabari that the kind of attachment she has, the kind of dedication she has, when the spiritual master was leaving, she was eager to go with him. And he said, no, you wait. We are going. You wait. Ramachandra will come one day. And you offer him some hospitality and service. He didn't say when he will come. And she waited and waited without any grudge, without any whining, complaining, or any sense of feeling that, hey, I got the short end of the stick. My spiritual master has gone away to the spiritual world. I would like to go. No. She was more fixed on, he has given me a service and I need to accomplish that service. When? Today, tomorrow? We don't know. Whenever Ramachandra and Lakshmana come this way. Now, although she had to wait, she got a fantastic gift by the grace of her Guru, personal darshan of Ramachandra and Lakshmana. And Ram and Lakshmana are so handsome that the sages who've been meditating on him in their heart for thousands of years, that form in their heart did not compare when they opened their eyes and saw Ram and Lakshmana. And they are captivated. So she got that gift from her spiritual master. So the fruit of her service was in the gift of the vision of Rama and Lakshmana, to serve them personally, wash their feet, offer them fruits and other berries and other forest products, take them on a tour of the ashram and glorify her spiritual masters. Wow, what a service and what a fantastic exchange between her and Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana. So I want to open up for some comments, questions. There's some things from last week that we didn't cover. So if you have, please fire away. Okay, so there's a question here. Is Shabarimala in Kerala the place where Shabari met Lord Ram? Pampa river is also flowing there. I don't know. The Pampa Sarovara we visited a couple of years ago is in Karnataka. Pampa river and Sarovar. The river may have flown from the Sarovara. I don't know. But the name is definitely similar. So sorry, I don't know exact geographical answer for it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for the nice class and nice vision about the Ramayana. Prabhu, I wanted to ask one question. After taking the darshan of Lord Rama and Lakshmana, both are the lordship only. Why Sabri did not go to the Vaikuntha Loka?
Who's speaking?
My name is Chandan.
Okay. So she went to the spiritual world or serving the Lord. He said, Chami Akshayan Lokan. Akshayan Lokan is the spiritual world. So she went there, but particularly where her gurus were.
Okay, Prabhu. So is this her Guru's Loka and Vaikuntha Loka in the same horizon in the spiritual world? Or?
Her gurus are in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Loka, in a particular place. She went there.
Oh, okay, Prabhu. Okay. And one more question is there, Prabhu. Prabhu, is there any explanation like before leaving her body, as you Prabhuji explained, fire automatically came from her body and she went to her Guru's Loka. Before that, is there any explanation like she is asking to Lord Rama about the 9 limbs of the bhakti?
No, there's no discussion in Valmiki Ramayana.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. I was listening about you from Hari Syam Das Prabhuji, and today I am too much fortunate that I listened to you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
We're fortunate for your association, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, Prabhuji. Nice, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumar Das here.
Yeah,
how can we, first question, I have 2 questions. How can we develop such exclusive devotion to Lotus Feet of Spiritual Master? And especially after the disappearance of Spiritual Master, it becomes tough for a non-disciple to associate. But how can one practically meditate on the glories of Spiritual Master to be in the same, or can develop the love for his guru more? Right. This is my first question. And second question, though for devotees it is not encouraged, but as a yoga teacher, this part of me, I'm always curious. Like, is there anywhere or in Ramayana or Srimad Bhagavatam that many devotees mentioned that they meditated on the form of Lord, a particular way, in particular sequence? They did follow Ashtanga, they did follow Bhakti Yoga, but the way they left their body is very similar to a Ashtanga yogi, like the description in Bhagavatam also, how earth is demanchated, or is merged in water, etc., and so on, and finally the mind into intelligence, etc. So is there any proper authority or proper way it is, or any place it is mentioned, or something like that. Because monastic schools or Mayavada philosophy way of approaching yoga and samadhi, there are many schools, but the Vaishnava way, or the proper way, it has almost disappeared. If you can elaborate on it a little.
Krishna Kumar Prabhu, I'm not sure I understand the second question fully. Let's start the
Okay.
first one.
Yeah.
And whatever I might say, please know that I have no realization of what it means to serve the spiritual master after his physical presence is not there. I don't have that experience. You probably have more realization on it than I do. So whatever I might say is theoretical in the sense that if ever I am put in that situation, I hope not, but if I am, I wouldn't know how I will be. But since we're talking on Shabari Devi, she was fixed on serving the Guru's form when he was there, and they were there. After that, she was serving Vani, instruction. She took that instruction or instructions very seriously, and it seems she was serving every day as if they're there. And she felt their presence, that the cloth that they put for drying is not dried yet. The place is effulgent. The garlands are still fragrant and not discolored, etc., etc. So these are all ways by which, although she is glorifying them, it's an indirect way of understanding that she feels their presence very, very strongly by serving instructions. Because the spiritual master is always present in his, or her, I should say, instructions.
Okay.
And that's the principle. Now, each person will have their level of realization to the degree of that principle has become a part of their being. Okay, so that's the first part. Second part, is there a appropriate way of leaving the body, or is that the question? If I understood it right?
Yeah. So here we see that she created this fire from her penance or bhakti, and she left the body. In Bhagavatam also there is a description how devotees left their body. There is also this particular description where all the elements are submerged in the mind, and mind in intelligence, etc. So I'm saying, is there any way this is elaborated, how a yogi can learn this process, etc. As a yoga teacher, I'm asking this.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. For most persons, they have their descendants who has the quality or eligibility to put fire under the head. That's what the Putras, or in the case of Jatayu, Ramachandra did. Anatha Preta, because Jatayu was without any descendant with him. Ramachandra did, like a son. In the case of Shabari, because she is alone living in a forest, and she can't expect the Lord to do that service for her, she brought out the yogic fire from within. So there depends on the person and what they are in their state of bhakti. For Haridas Thakur, Lord Chaitanya personally carried him, bathed Haridas Thakur's body in the ocean, and did the Samadhi ceremony. So for each person is different. Each person's style, how they will leave the body, what type of process they are following. Although bhakti is there in the heart, the physical process may look different.
Right. Yes, bro.
Sorry, that's
Thank
all I
you.
can offer at this point.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
This is Madhav Priya here.
Hari Bol.
Prabhuji, I had a question, somewhat like Kumar Prabhu's question, but sort of different. So it's like Shabari had a lot of Guru Bhakti for her Gurus. How do we develop it? Because sometimes in Prabhupada Maharaj's lectures, I don't know, out of humility or whatever it is, but he says, I don't know. So like, how do we accept that? And like,
How do we accept when he says, I don't know?
yeah, it's like he's a guru, but then he's not.
Oh. So if I understand right, a guru should say, I know everything.
Not like that. Yeah, somewhat like that.
Not like that, but somewhat like that. He's supposed to know everything. When he says, I don't know, we accept that as the truth. I don't know. Because the other side of I know everything and can say, and he can answer everything or say something, in his view, is on the border of speculating, that what the previous acharyas or his own spiritual master might not have said. So he will hesitate in creating something that may not be substantiated by scripture. So when he says something like, I don't know, we focus rather not on the I don't know part, but immediately to the part that, oh, he wants to be very much in line with the parampara. And that is a greater qualification. Okay. We feel confident that that is his sense of being fixed in speaking something that is exactly in line with parampara, not otherwise.
Yes,
that is where our attention goes.
Yes.
And there's no requirement that somehow he should know every scripture from. It's not required. That is not a requirement to be a guru. What is required is that they speak from scripture, they speak from Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, and they are capable enough to remove a follower's illusion. That's what is required.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Very
Prabhu.
wonderful lecture.
Thank you. All right.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dhire Lalit Das here.
Yes, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have one question. We see in the life of Shabari that she got instruction from her guru. One day, Lord Rama and Lakshmana will come and you have to do this service. Now we know because since the incident has happened, that it took 13 years. She herself was not knowing whether it would take 13 years or 300 years. And every day she was doing the same service. She was arranging the house or getting the fruits and berries, waiting for Lord Rama and Lakshmana. They didn't come. Next day, the same thing. Every day for 13 years, she did the same service. Now, if we look at our position as a practicing devotees, we also got certain instructions. Every day, same Hare Krishna mantra we are chanting. Same deities we are worshipping. Same way, the books we read or the lecture we hear, 70 to 75% we already know. It's not that each and every line which I read is totally new or something. Okay. So, but we see that Shabari was doing so enthusiastically, same service for so many years. But here in our case, especially in my case, I would say, things would go pretty mechanically. Now, as I see that Shabari was pretty convinced, like fully convinced in the instruction of his guru that, okay, one day Lord Rama and Lakshmana will come. And at heart, she was not fully convinced. maybe that much conviction that we don't have that, okay, that's it, we'll go back to Godhead if you follow this. So where is the gap? Like, how do we fix it? That enthusiasm which Shabri was having, that same enthusiasm, how do we get that? Where is the gap? How do we fix it? If we can. Please.
Where is the gap? I don't know if I can answer, because for each person, the gap looks different. But from a principal perspective, enthusiasm is variable because the spiritual conception is not fixed yet. Like our telephone signal. You see 4 bars, 3, 2, 1, then no reception, then you take the phone and you turn that way, and suddenly there's a light bar, you turn that way, the bar goes away. So it's an intermittent connection. So when connection with the Guru or the process of Bhakti or the Supreme Lord, in the sense of connection is intermittent, enthusiasm is also intermittent. In the case of Shabri, she has gone beyond Anartha Nivriti, she's gone beyond Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti stage to such a degree that her enthusiasm doesn't waver because her conception is very clear. As soon as she sees Ramachandra, she offers the service. She doesn't wait for Ramachandra to go out of Pampa Sarovar. She tells him, now I've done, please give me permission. And in his presence, she leaves. She's not being disrespectful, it's joyful. So enthusiasm, so she's the embodiment of Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. She's enthusiastic. Ramachandra will come, Lakshmana will come. Nishchayat, my Guru said, therefore they will come. When they will come, I don't know. Dhairya, I have to wait, whenever they come. And she's waiting and waiting and waiting. So her conception is on a basis of, is a spiritual basis. And for everyone, as a practitioner, depending on the degree of this I and my conception or the absence of it, enthusiasm will manifest accordingly. Whenever a person thinks I'm a servant, their enthusiasm goes up. When I forget I'm a servant, my enthusiasm for something else goes up.
Right, Prabhu. So the forgetful tendency, if that is the one thing, if we need to fix it.
I'm sorry?
This you said, right? You correctly mentioned that when you forget that I'm a servant, the enthusiasm is not there.
Yeah.
So that thing, if we need to fix it, is there any way to do that? Something?
Yeah, I mean, from morning till night, every activity that Prabhupada is given is to reinforce our sense of being a servant. We wake up in the morning, we offer obeisances to Guru and Gauranga and the deities. We call out the holy name, we call out the name of the spiritual master, we come in front of the deity, Samsara Davana Nidaloka, we glorify the Guru. One day, Guru Shri Charanaravindam, you turn around, you pray to Lord Nrsimhadev, you chant Japa, my dear Radha, my dear Krishna, please engage me in your service, I am your servant. We come to Tulsi Devi and we say, Dina Krishna Dasa Koe, please engage me. Seva Abhilasha Kore, please give me, I aspire for service. Then you go into physically doing something for the deity. The whole day studying of scripture is meant to be in that spirit. The process is laid out. The presence of mind as we're going through it is what we work on. So we remind ourselves again and again and again through katha, through other different ways, through association. Right?
Got it, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
All right. Anything else? Let's see in the chat box. I wasn't clear on the point when you said Lord Rama didn't liberate Shabari. but her guru had already liberated her. Can you explain what is the difference here? Now, philosophically speaking, that it is the Supreme Lord who liberates. In the case of Shabari, explicitly that empowerment was given to her guru, because he told her, you will come to me, you just have to take care of this service. Others, like if you take Aranya-Kanda, the very first episode in Aranya-Kanda is the liberation of Sharabanga. And the very last episode is the liberation of Shabari. And in between, there are multiple persons who got liberated. Some were demons, Viradha, Kabandha, a whole bunch of others, Trishira, Kharadushana, all of them, in different ways. Then there is Sutikshna, again a great sage. They meet this one, that one. But this whole Kanda is about the liberation of saintly persons, or the liberation by the grace of the Supreme Lord. In the case of Shabari, she's particularly glorified as one who is so immensely attached to her guru that her desire is not necessarily to see the Supreme Lord and go to his abode, rather to go to the abode where her guru is. So in that sense, Vedanta Deshika in his Raghuvira Gadyam and other commentators of the Ramayana say that Ramachandra was only a witness. In that sense that she was already liberated, just waiting to offer some service. So like I said previously, don't get into the technicalities of it. Ultimately, it is the Supreme Lord who delivers everyone from the world. But here it is to glorify the spiritual master, or her love for her spiritual master. I hope that clarifies. Okay, welcome. Then here's a comment on a small Prabhupada story. In one class, Prabhupada kept saying, these Mayavadis try to kill my Krishna. These Mayavadis always want to kill my Krishna. So after the class, Prabhupada's disciples thought that his person Mayavadi is giving so much trouble to Prabhupada. So these disciples came to Prabhupada and said, who is this Mayavadi? Please tell us. In America, it's easy. Tell us, we can kill him. And Prabhupada laughed and said, you got the point. You have developed the necessary affection for your guru. Okay. Any other comments, thoughts, clarifications? Okay, if not, thank you very much. We have ended Aranya-Kanda. Somehow we've all stuck together and made it this far. From the next week onwards, Kishkinda-Kanda is opening up. Our favorite Hanumanji will make his appearance. And the Aranya-Kanda is a Kanda about living a life of austerity, living a life fixed on dharma even when challenges come left, right, and center, attacked by demons and this and that. Persons were fixed in their affection for and their service for Ramachandra. Now, in Kishkinda-Kanda, the entire Kanda is about friendship, primarily. Friendship between brothers, between Sugriva and Ramachandra, friendship between Ramachandra and Lakshmana, introduction of Hanumanji. There's one thing in this Kanda that's coming up, which is very, very unique. And there's a distinction in Sundara Kanda and Kishkinda-Kanda. In the Kishkinda-Kanda, there is no Sita Devi. We don't see her at all. But she is present in every shloka, meaning thoughts of Ramachandra and Lakshmana, particularly Ramachandra, because he is in this sense of separation from her. His thoughts are constantly with her. So her presence is there in her absence. In Sundara Kanda, Ramachandra is not there at all. up until he comes back. But other than that, only Hanumanji going to Lanka, meeting, but Ramachandra is there in every shloka because Sita and Hanuman are constantly thinking of Sri Ramachandra. That's the beauty, that both Kandas are of separation. Here Ramachandra's separation for Sita, and there's Sita Devi's separation for Ramachandra. And Hanuman is the one who is going from one to the other and appreciating both of them. Okay, so thank you very, very much for staying so far, and see you sometime very, very soon next week when we start Kishkindha Kanda. Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
You're
Krishna.
welcome. There's also another comment. Thank you. How we can maintain that.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.